Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Exclusive, Inside Film and Namtan's Dream Wedding, every sweet moment captured. The sun shone brightly over the sprawling garden estate as anticipation buzzed through every corner of the venue. Today marked the union of Film and Namtan, one of the most beloved couples in the public eye, and the world was watching with bated breath. From the early morning, the air was filled with excitement, laughter, and the unmistakable hum of a celebration about to unfold. Sources on site revealed that Namtan's morning began in a soft, sunlit suite where she was surrounded by family and her closest friends. Every detail had been meticulously planned, a curated playlist of songs that had defined their relationship, floral arrangements carefully positioned to capture the morning light, and a bridal suite buzzing with soft laughter and quiet emotion. Her mother was by her side, gently helping her into the silk robe before the gown, their eyes reflecting tears of joy and nostalgia. Inside the room, makeup artists and hairstylists moved with precision and care, creating a look that was both timeless and elegant. Every brushstroke, every curl, was designed to highlight not just her beauty, but the joy radiating from within. Bridesmaids flitted about, sharing whispered advice, laughter, and moments of reassurance, while Namtan took a deep breath, savoring the gravity of the day ahead. Meanwhile, Film was preparing in a suite across the estate, accompanied by his closest confidants. The groom, often composed and reserved in public appearances, displayed a rare vulnerability. He was quiet, reflective, yet there was a spark of excitement you could feel in the room, a source told our reporters. Adjusting his tie and cufflinks, Film reportedly rehearsed the vows silently, smiling softly as he recalled the many shared memories that had led to this very day. Dispatch photographers captured intimate behind-the-scenes moments that will later become iconic images of the day, the gentle adjustments of a veil, the heartfelt laughter between siblings, and the fleeting expressions of pride and love shared between parents and children. These candid moments, often overlooked in formal coverage, painted a picture of a wedding that was as emotionally rich as it was visually stunning. As the morning progressed, both the bride and groom were ready, and attention turned to the arrival of guests. Friends, family, and notable figures from the entertainment industry began to trickle in, greeted by a soft classical ensemble that played live under the blooming canopies of the garden. Every detail, from the meticulously arranged floral arches to the petals lining the aisle, was designed to create a sense of romance and serenity, a reflection of the love shared between Film and Namtan. Insiders revealed that the couple had personally overseen every element of the day, from the selection of the menu to the lighting design, ensuring that each guest would feel the warmth and intimacy of the occasion. The atmosphere was described as magical yet grounded, with moments of quiet reflection interspersed with laughter and conversation. In the hours leading up to the ceremony, Namtan shared a private moment with her mother and grandmother, a quiet interlude filled with whispered advice, soft laughter, and tears of joy. Meanwhile, Film met with his father in a brief, heartfelt exchange, a gesture of support and blessing that was captured by our on-site photographers. Every moment, no matter how small, contributed to the tapestry of a wedding day that promises to be remembered not just for its beauty, but for the deep emotional resonance felt by everyone present. With the sun climbing higher, the stage was set. Guests took their seats, the orchestra played its first notes, and the air seemed to hold its breath. The world outside faded away. Today, Film and Namtan's love took center stage, and every carefully curated detail ensured that this would be a wedding day to remember. The ceremony, a fairy tale in motion. As the afternoon sun bathed the estate in golden light, guests rose from their seats in anticipation. The gentle strains of the string quartet shifted to a tender melody, signaling the beginning of a moment everyone had been waiting for, Namtan's walk down the aisle. The crowd fell into an awed hush as the bride appeared, framed by the floral archway. Dressed in an exquisite gown of lace and silk, Namtan looked radiant, her smile trembling with both joy and nerves. Her veil shimmered as it caught the sunlight, and her bouquet, a delicate arrangement of white roses, peonies, and jasmine, completed the vision of grace and elegance. Gasps echoed softly among the guests as cameras flashed discreetly, capturing the moment that would soon become an iconic memory. On the other side of the aisle, Film's expression told its own story. Usually composed, the groom's eyes welled with emotion as he caught sight of his bride. Witnesses described him as frozen in awe, his lips parting into a smile so genuine that it lit up the entire space. The world seemed to blur for him, every sound dimmed except the soft rhythm of her steps as she approached. Her father, visibly emotional, guided her slowly toward the altar. Halfway down, he paused to whisper a few words that only she could hear. Observers noted the tears that filled Namtan's eyes, though her smile never faltered. It was a tender reminder of the love that had shaped her before she stepped into this new chapter with film. As the bride reached the altar, Film extended his hand, his voice barely above a whisper as he said, "You're beautiful." The simplicity of the words, paired with the raw sincerity in his tone, drew smiles and teary eyes across the audience. Guests leaned in to catch every glance, every smile, every subtle exchange of emotion between the couple. The officiant began the ceremony, weaving words about love, commitment, and the journey of partnership. But the most powerful moments came when Film and Namtan exchanged their vows. Unlike the scripted lines of tradition, both had written their own promises, personal, heartfelt, and deeply moving. Film's vow was steady, though his voice quivered with emotion. He spoke of the first time he met Namtan, how her laughter had been the spark that lit up an ordinary day. He promised to cherish not just her strength and beauty, but her flaws, her quiet moments, and her dreams. "You are my best friend, my safe place, and my forever," he said, his words resonating with an authenticity that left even the strongest guests dabbing at their eyes. When it was Namtan's turn, her voice trembled, but her words rang clear. She recounted moments of their journey together, the ordinary days that had become extraordinary simply because Film was there. She promised to support him, to laugh with him, and to love him fiercely through every season of life. At one point, she paused, overcome with tears, and Film gently reached for her hand, steadying her as the guests looked on, hearts swelling with emotion. The vows concluded with the exchange of rings, each band symbolizing a circle of unbroken love. When the officiant finally declared them husband and wife, the garden erupted in applause and cheers. The kiss that followed was tender yet electric, sealing their promises with a moment that would be replayed in minds and in video footage for years to come. The reactions from the guests were immediate and heartfelt. Friends wiped tears discreetly, while family members clapped with pride and joy. The energy of the ceremony was described as magical, with one attendee telling reporters, "It wasn't just a wedding. It felt like a storybook moment, a love story we were lucky enough to witness in real life." As the newlyweds turned to face their guests, hand in hand, smiles wide and tears still shimmering in their eyes, rose petals floated through the air, tossed joyfully by attendants. It was a scene that seemed to pause time, capturing the essence of a love both celebrated and cherished by all who witnessed it. With the ceremony complete, the couple walked back down the aisle together, now as husband and wife, greeted by cheers, applause, and the bright promise of a lifetime ahead. Following the breathtaking ceremony, guests were ushered into a reception space that can only be described as enchanting. Set beneath a canopy of twinkling fairy lights and crystal chandeliers, the grand hall radiated warmth, intimacy, and elegance. Every corner told a story of meticulous planning and thoughtful detail, from the tables draped in ivory linens to the cascading floral centerpieces of blush roses, orchids, and lilies. Candles flickered softly at every table, adding a golden glow to the room, creating an atmosphere that was both romantic and celebratory. As Film and Namtan entered the reception hand in hand, the entire hall erupted into applause. Guests stood, cheering, clapping, and showering the newlyweds with love. The couple's smiles were wide and luminous, their joy contagious. Film gently led Namtan to the center of the room, where they paused to take in the sea of familiar faces, family, friends, and colleagues who had gathered to share in their joy. The reception began with heartfelt speeches, each one a mosaic piece in the larger story of Film and Namtan's love. The maid of honor, Namtan's childhood friend, was the first to speak. Her voice trembled with emotion as she recalled their years of friendship and the moment she realized Film was the one for her dearest friend. She shared anecdotes of late-night conversations, Namtan's giddy smiles after dates, and the unwavering support Film had shown through every challenge. Her words drew both laughter and tears, setting the perfect tone for the evening. Next, the best man, one of Film's closest friends, took the microphone. With a mix of humor and sincerity, He painted a picture of Film as both a loyal friend and a devoted partner. He teased the groom about his nervous early days of dating, drawing laughter from the crowd, before shifting to a heartfelt reflection. "I've seen Film at his best and his worst," he said, "but I've never seen him happier than when he's with Namtan. She is his anchor, his light, and his greatest adventure." The most moving speech of the evening came from Film's father. Standing tall, his voice steady, he spoke not only of his pride in his son but of his deep admiration for the love he had witnessed between the couple. He thanked Namtan for bringing joy into Film's life, his words echoing with sincerity that left few dry eyes in the room. "Marriage is not just about love in the good times," he said, pausing as his eyes shimmered, "it's about holding each other up when the storms come. I know you two will weather them all, because the love we see tonight is real, strong, and unshakable." With speeches concluded, it was time for the couple's first dance, a moment that seemed to suspend time. As the opening notes of their chosen song floated through the hall, Film extended his hand to Namtan, guiding her gently to the dance floor. All eyes were on them as they moved together with a grace that was both natural and unstudied. Their steps were simple, but their connection was undeniable. Every glance, every smile, every soft laugh shared between them told a story of comfort, passion, and unbreakable bond. Guests swayed in their seats, captivated by the intimacy of the moment. As the dance concluded, the crowd erupted in applause, many guests rising to their feet in ovation. The energy in the hall soared, and soon after, the dance floor filled with family and friends eager to join in the celebration. The joyous atmosphere was complemented by an exquisite feast. Tables overflowed with delicacies carefully selected by the couple, traditional dishes paying homage to their heritage, alongside modern culinary creations that delighted every palate. Champagne glasses clinked, plates were filled, and laughter rang out as conversations flowed across the room. Throughout the night, photographers and videographers captured countless candid moments, children giggling as they twirled on the dance floor, grandparents holding hands, friends raising toasts that spilled over with emotion. Every frame told a story of love not just between Film and Namtan, but radiating outward to everyone in attendance. As the evening progressed, more surprises unfolded. A video montage played on a large screen, chronicling Film and Namtan's journey together from their first public appearance as a couple to intimate, never-before-seen footage of their travels, their everyday laughter, and their quiet moments of togetherness. Guests cheered, laughed, and even cried as they watched the love story unfold, culminating in scenes from earlier that day. By the time dessert was served, a decadent multi-tiered cake adorned with sugar flowers and delicate gold accents, the room was buzzing with joy. When Film and Namtan cut the cake together, their playful laughter filled the hall, and cheers rose again as they fed each other the first slices. It was a moment of sweetness, both literal and symbolic, one that perfectly captured the essence of the day. The night grew longer, but the energy never waned. Every guest seemed to recognize that they were part of something special, not just a wedding, but a celebration of a love that had touched countless lives. For Film and Namtan, it was a dream brought to life, and for those who witnessed it, it was a memory etched forever. As the evening reached its crescendo, the energy inside the reception hall was electric. The dance floor remained full, the music pulsed with life, and every corner buzzed with conversations and laughter. Yet there was still more to come, the final traditions that would mark the close of Film and Namtan's unforgettable day. The first of these was the bouquet toss, a moment of playful anticipation that drew the attention of every guest. Namtan, radiant in her gown, stood at the center of the dance floor with her bridesmaids clustered around her. She held the bouquet, a cascade of roses and jasmine, carefully crafted to match the flowers from the ceremony, close to her chest. With a laugh, she turned her back to the crowd of eager single ladies who had gathered behind her. The music swelled, guests cheered, and in one graceful motion, she tossed the bouquet high into the air. Time seemed to slow as the flowers arced above the crowd, before landing squarely in the hands of a surprised younger cousin. The hall erupted in cheers and applause as the girl blushed furiously, holding the bouquet high while her friends teased her mercilessly. It was a light-hearted, joyful moment that captured the spirit of the night. Next came the garter toss, with Film stepping forward to more laughter and playful chants from his friends. Though often a humorous tradition, Film approached it with his trademark charm, drawing roars of approval from the crowd. When the garter finally flew across the dance floor, landing in the hands of an equally stunned guest, the hall filled with cheers once more. These traditions, though playful, added layers of sweetness to an evening already overflowing with love. But perhaps the most touching moment of the finale came with the couple's farewell. As midnight approached, guests were invited to gather outside, where a pathway lined with sparklers awaited the bride and groom. The air was cool, the stars bright overhead, and the atmosphere nothing short of magical. Hand in hand, Film and Namtan stepped into the glow of sparklers held aloft by their friends and family. The golden light framed their smiles as they walked slowly down the path, stopping every few steps to wave, embrace loved ones, and soak in the moment. Guests cheered, tears glistened in eyes, and the couple's joy seemed to radiate outward, wrapping everyone in warmth. At the end of the pathway, a vintage car waited, its hood adorned with white ribbons and flowers. Before stepping inside, Film paused to kiss Namtan's forehead, while she leaned into his chest, both visibly emotional. Guests captured the moment on their phones, knowing it was one of those rare images that would live forever in memory and in photographs. The car pulled away slowly, sparklers still lighting the night as guests waved and shouted their blessings. The image of Film and Namtan leaning out of the window, waving with radiant smiles, was one that drew a final cheer from the crowd. It was not just a farewell, but the beginning of something new, a promise of a future built together. For those who remained, the celebration continued with an intimate after-party. Friends and family gathered for late-night conversations, music, and laughter, sharing stories that stretched into the early hours of the morning. The after-party, though more relaxed, carried the same spirit of joy and togetherness that had defined the entire day. By the time the last guest departed, one truth was undeniable: Film and Namtan's wedding was more than just a union of two people. It was a celebration of love that resonated deeply with everyone who bore witness. Every detail, from the ceremony to the final farewell, was infused with the couple's warmth, authenticity, and commitment to one another. In the days following, social media was flooded with images, clips, and heartfelt posts. Fans around the world shared their joy, calling it the wedding of the year and a fairy tale come true. News outlets praised the elegance and emotional depth of the event, while friends and family continued to reminisce about the moments that had moved them most. And at the heart of it all was Film and Namtan, two souls whose love story had now reached a new, unforgettable chapter. Their wedding was not just an event, but a memory, a legacy, and a symbol of what love can be when it is cherished, nurtured, and celebrated. As one guest perfectly summed it up, "It wasn't just a wedding. It was a love story written in real time, and we were lucky enough to witness the first page of their forever." Thank you guys for watching, and please do not forget to like and subscribe.